Well, chops and chop asses, you're seeing my ugly mug again for a couple of reasons. The Ariana guitar, which will be, Georgie girls decided to kiss me, which will be coming up, is a fairly inexpensive Japanese made guitar. Generally speaking, you get them for about £150. But some of you will hate what I've done with this one, and some of you will like it less. Some of you will like it, but as you know, my I'm all about the animals. So I've fixed the guitar and done it up, and had it painted by an artist to suit the animals so that I can sell it. Now, this is the first video which I'm putting up for about 3 weeks because I haven't been well. And thank you for all your get well cards. Not one, not one. How could you? You didn't know. But now I'm back in the fray again, and Georgia Girl's back in the fray again, and we're going to get down to this. So this Ariana, you'll either love it or hate it. But let's see what happens. We'll see what you think of it at the end. Do tell me. Tell me in the comments, not you, Georgia Girl, down below, please. All right, thank you. Bye bye. I keep looking over there. The lens is over there. I'm not a superstar. All right, get on with it. This is the Ariana. We're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive into this to see if this is salvageable. I have a hope that it will be. I understand that the wood used on these guitars is superior quality, and it's a jumbo size, which has a great sound. So I'm going to look at a deeper dive into the problems and use my other camera to get into that. That's a crack there as well. That's going to have to come off. Or will it have to come off? Let me just do a little check here. Will the front have to come off and maybe the back can stay on? Let me just check to see. Feels pretty good at the back. So maybe it's just the front that cracked. Why the front would crack, I can't figure out unless they put the wrong type of bridge in, which had too much lean on it and put too much pressure on the front. But we'll see. We'll dig in deeper. We'll have a good look inside. Actually, let's have a look inside now. Right, okay. Have a look. You're looking at it at the same time as me, because I'll have to look at this on the computer to see if it's... Let me just push a couple of pushes here. That's a very solid body, that is. And there's anything wrong with that. I'm pressing down on the top. Have a look up there. Just see. Yeah, so pretty solid. The neck. Truss rod. I have to test that later. It's looking pretty solid all around. I'm going to put this on the computer to see what I think. Is that safe enough up in there? Looks okay, doesn't it? Pity there's no plate beneath it. But let's straight check the neck now to see where we are. There's a little bit of an overbow that I prefer not to have. So let's just see what the truss rod tells us, and see if the truss rod is working. Well, the first time lucky. So I loosened off the truss rod. Right. I'm going to loosen it off more than I need to. Let's just see. Well, I don't see an awful lot of difference. It has made a bit of difference loosening up the truss rod. But I do think it's working. I get the impression it's working okay. It's taken a little bit of the overbow on. So I think I can safely say the truss rod's working fine. bridge, nuts. Let's look at the head. Let's turn it round. I have a feeling that's a little crack. That'll come away. These feel very loose. Let's see if they're fixable. Just put that down a bit. Well, you know, they're that type of... It's been helping a little bit, but not much. Little tiny bit. So I don't think that's going to be... But what I can do, if you're careful, you can tap. Although I'm not going to do that. Let's just see what it's like when it gets strings on it. They're fairly loose. They look fairly nice, these peg tuners. That's loosened completely. Yeah. They look nice, you know. And there's very little can go wrong with them when they're made well. Let's look at the back. There's a chip there. The back's pretty good. So the biggest problem I see is that, and I wonder if we can get away with just taking the front off and cleaning it up and putting it back on again. Little scratch there. I'm going to give it a tiny clean to see what we can get away with it. It's not a gloss finish. It's a natural wood finish. So let me just see what it's going to come up like whenever I've cleaned it. I'm hopeful, you know what, I'm hopeful with this one because it may be one of these guitars that I might keep. Because I bought it. So I might just keep it if it's a good sound. I have a feeling it's going to be a very good sound. If I don't hit any real problems with it. That looks pretty clean. I don't know if you can see where I've cleaned there. Yeah, there. I just try. Looks pretty good. It's a bit damp, so you can't see it. It's that nice satin finish. So the biggest challenge is to get that little cut, that ding there fixed, and that there. Let's check the frets to see how straight they are. Oh, sorry. Settle down. Settle down. Yeah, that's all. That'll all have to be leveled. That usually sits up, unfortunately. But the frets are looking pretty good. The fretboard is very good. I'm hoping I'll be able to clean that up. Unfortunately, there's been a scratch on the name, Ariana. Oh, well, that actually wasn't a scratch. It was a bit of dirt. So what I might be tempted to do is get that cleaned up. The Ariana. Get it cleaned up completely and then gloss it, high gloss it, to stop it from going that dull color. Because that looks pretty gross. Well, not gross, but not as attractive as a high gloss might show it. Let's just check the frets to see. No, there's very little wear there. It needs a nut. But the first thing I'm going to do, and yeah, it's going to need scrapped. Frets all feel pretty good. I might even carve a little bit of rosewood into that to make it 100%. And that has to be glued down, the cover. Just a touch of super glue in there would do that. There's a couple of little thingies there. I don't know. Oh, that's probably a spillover from the glue. Hate that. I hate it because this being a satin finish, there's a spill there, and a spill there and there. Satin finish, extremely hard to get back to satin if you have to sand it. It'll either get shiny or not, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. Maybe it'll end up getting all sort of high polished. Let's try to deal with the biggest issue first. Okay, I'll pause while I get my heat gun. Sheet of titanium, a sheet of brass with some plastic on top, which is not a great idea. Let's turn that round. It's just to give it a little protection to the body, and just a sheet of tin. Now I want to try to just take off the front. So I've got my little machine here, I'm going to put it on like that and lean it slightly on the titanium, but not much, just a touch, and I'm going to let that sit for a few minutes. And just take that, set that there, and see if I can get underneath it. I think that glue seems to melt fairly well, so that it's going in underneath well. That's a good sign. Let's just see if, yeah, that's a good sign. And how far can I get with it? Right. So, unfortunately, is it? Oh, no, it should be okay. I was thinking that it was not cracked the whole way, it was just cracked there, but it was cracked right down. So let's put that over there because I have managed to get this free. So let's heat this up. Okay, let's see where we are. Oh yeah, that glue is easier to take off than... Oh, right. Oh, right, okay. So, I'm stuck. I'm going to have to take the whole thing off, so let me just work from this side. I was hoping just to take that front bit off, but no. The glue's coming away quite well on everything, so let me just go where I can at the moment. It's easier to take off than I thought it would be. That was all quite loose in the middle, which is... maybe now I'm glad that it's come off. Just see. No, I need a bit of heat there. Another 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes are up. Let's see where we are. Aha, right, okay. That's very good. Very good, because there's no wood lost at all on there. And this, I think I'm going to be able to salvage. But there was very little glue in the middle. You can see there's hardly any glue there. So let me just put this on that for about a minute. Right, okay, let's take that off and see. Yeah, I was hoping that might happen. You see the natural color of it there? I'll take a bit of sandpaper to this. Are you wanting cuddles? Alright, do you want cuddles? Come on. She's purring away, she wants cuddles. Alright, Georgie girl's up in my arms and wants cuddles. She's been purring at me for ages, so I'll talk to you later. I don't need to do a lot of yapping and talking through this, but you've probably seen these before. They're toilet seat holders, and I just bought them cheap online, as you can do, for a couple of quid. And those are the screws from a toilet seat holder. And I just used that thing. It's sort of like a rubber washer, but you can use any washer you want. And I've got a rubber washer there between the metal and the bridge, so it doesn't damage it. The metal is a piece of, what is it? You can buy when you're putting up an aerial. You put an aerial and you get one of those things on. You can see it now, can't you? And so it just happened to be lying around spare. So I don't think that there is the washer that I'm going to put underneath the guitar, and so that rubber washer is going to be pressing against the bottom of the guitar to force the thing down. And I'm going to slather glue everywhere. Oh, one tip: when you're finished with those screws, wash them. I forgot to wash them last time. there's show through at the sides. Now, I think I would be happy with that if I could get that to clamp. So let me see if my little clamps might do the job. I'm not overly confident. Ooh, will you stay there? You can't see it, or you can see it, but they're slipping off. So let's try it that way. Would I be happy with that? I wanted to put clamps on the sides, but they actually don't need it because when I press down, it's not pushing through anymore. So if I can keep this to like that, I think I'd be happy. And I think I'm going to have to put just a little bit of weight on top of it, just to make sure the clamps don't slip off. Okay. I am not going to touch that for at least 24 hours. But it has to come off my bench, so I hope that that clamp doesn't sneak off. So, pause. Okay, 36 hours has passed, so let's just get this off. I'll hold the plastic at the bottom. There we go. This one decided to come upwards. Where's it there? Let's just see why it decided to come upwards. Alright, some glue had come up and filled the hole, so the glue had gone around the screw, so the screw turns and came up. So I'll clean out that glue. Now this bit here looks pretty nice. All looks pretty nice. You can still see the crack line, but I shall do something about that. Don't you worry about a thing. So let's just use a little bit of sandy paper and just give that a little rub. Now when I go to sand this, I'm going to sand that down quite a bit because there's an edge there that keeps catching. Not, well, I say quite a bit, enough to take some wood off. There we go. Still am not confident yet enough about how firm it's going to be until I get another day under my belt, and then I'll put strings on it. But I think I'm okay now to start working on the neck. So that's what I'll do next. My assistant checking the struts to see they're okay, putting a bit of weight on them, testing them. Thank you. Okay, right? That all right? Thank you very much. Well, we're a little bit further down the road, but I'm not happy with the body quality. It's it's not a non-gloss guitar. It's not gloss, but it's very, actually, if you can see what I mean, it's sort of a dirty feel to it. So I'm just going to use some sandpaper. I think they probably would say you shouldn't touch it with sandpaper, but it just feels so dirty. More than looks, it just feels dirty, like somebody's put a bad layer of, let me just show you. Like somebody's put a bad layer of lacquer on it, but it doesn't have lacquer. But you can see it's sort of very dirty looking, and I'm taking that away with the sandpaper, and I'd rather have it just feels dirty. I can't see the dirt, but it feels dirty. God, how can you not see the dirt? So this is a very fine sandpaper. What is it? It's 1500, maybe even 1000. I'm not sure. I can't just quite see it. But I think it's going to look better just being sanded. No, not going to put any lacquer back on it, if that is lacquer. This could be polish over the years, you know, building up on it. So I'm just going to take it off. I'm surprised Georgie girl hasn't come to see us yet, because I'm talking to the camera and she doesn't like me talking to the camera without getting cuddles. Okay, just do that. That feels better already. Feelings. Bloody hell. Let's have a clean look at that now. Oh, what did I say? Did I say that I hadn't heard from Georgie girl? Hello, Georgie girl. I'm talking to the camera. Do you want cuddles? Is that what you're here for? Or have you smelled the water? You think you're going to drink the water? Do you want cuddles? Yes, she wants cuddles. Here she is. So, pause. That means two things. Pause and pause. That looks a lot better, and it's a nicer finish to it. But I'm not going to leave it open like that, because I think I've taken off some wax or lacquer or whatever. So I'm going to use some linseed oil. Yeah, linseed oil, and just cover it all. But before I do that, I have to stick that down. So let's just do that. Stick that down. Stick that down, I'll be right minute. What's that? Well, that is super glue already. So I'm going to put a little drop of super glue on the super glue. Oh, the lid came right off. That sometimes happens. And I don't like it when it happens, because that means that thick things inside. Oh, this is that jar of super glue that's done. Why have I kept it? Because there's a tiny, tiny drop in the bottom, and I'm going to steal it out of it. Right, tiny, tiny drops, because tiny, tiny drops all I need. So I'm going to put that tiny drop on there, and then press down on that, squeeze it, get it on my finger, and then press it down and hold it down, and then I can chew my fingers all night long to get the super glue off them. Yeah, that's doing the job. Must have been some sort of lacquer on it. That feels it now. That's sort of done. Right, I'm just going to put a little bit of sandpaper there so that I get rid of any super glue that was sitting on the surface just there. Yeah, perfect. You look at it, I'm looking at it. Yeah, okay. Let me just do the same here. Just see that. Any place I might just see that sheen of whatever was on it. I don't know. Probably household polish, because these guitars are probably just ordinary guitars which are just finished. But I'm going to put some linseed oil, so I'll pause you now when I get the linseed oil. Then it brings the pickguard up in a very nice shine. Shine the pickguard with linseed oil. And he spills the linseed oil on the floor for... Will I ever learn? Will I ever learn? How am I going to get linseed oil off the floor? Look at that. Ugh. Right, okay. Pause. Did this before. Well, that's a pain. A pain of your own making. Almost a whole kitchen roll. Looks like pee, doesn't it? Trying to get up that. Fortunately, I'm a bachelor and live on my own, so there's nobody to shout at me except for me. And I have a strip map that I should have put there, which I took away the other day. But that's 2 bottles of Coke I've knocked on that, and now I've knocked the boiled linseed oil on it. Stupid boy. Fortunately, the guitar's looking good. Oh, right, okay. Stupid, stupid, stupid boy. Anyway, go back to polishing with my legs spread wide open like a spread eagle to avoid the linseed oil, which will never come out of that carpet. So I'm going to do what I've always promised to do, get rid of the carpet in this floor anyway, and turn it into wood floor. But that looks good, doesn't it? Doesn't that look better? Now everything's shut so I can show you it. But it looks, look how shiny that is, and how nice that wood is. Right, linseed oil. It's not your fault, linseed oil. I'm not shouting at you. I'm shouting at my own stupidity. Right, bye-bye. So I'm going to have to do this the hard way, because I don't have everything I need here. I have a bit of plastic there which I have glued onto the fretboard with super glue. The fretboard's going to get scraped anyway, so that should be fine. And that will give me a wall. And what I'm going to do, I can't find a bit of plastic to put in there. I just can't find anything that's suitable. So I'm going to fill it up with super glue and bring it up to that level and then bring it down again. Now, I can't bring it up too high because then it'll flood down there. So I'll put it on in layers, little layers at a time. And let's get started. This is thicker super glue. It's not thin stuff that would seep into the... And this is going to take several coats to get the thickness I want. That will sink in. All well and good. I'll probably put a couple of layers of tape on there as we go along. But the super glue will sink into the tape, but it just stop it running down the neck. It doesn't matter if it runs down the neck because I just polish it off. But if I put a couple of little bits of tape there, and as you can see there's a bit of wood missing there, so I'm going to have to bluff that. So there's one bit of tape. And it doesn't matter if the tape is perfectly aligned with it, the next bit of tape, because all I'm doing is building up a little wall there. And I've run out of tape. Bloody Nora. Right, okay. I haven't completely run out of tape because I've got tape here, thicker, larger tape. It's 2-inch wide tape, which I shall put up a little bit of a... So I'm building a little wall there. There. So, do you know what I should have done? I forgot to do... No, I'll just do it the way it is. Too late. I should have dyed that black first. Stupid. I'm keeping this guitar, so I don't care. Get in focus. Okay, I'll come back to that a couple more times tonight to get it up higher. Imagine forgetting to dye it black. I had it in my mind to dye it black. Some nights you say to yourself, maybe I shouldn't do guitars. This is probably one of those nights when I shouldn't have done guitars. I'll just put that up there. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter really. Because I'd give a bit of a story to the guitar. Alright, come back in about an hour. Well, there you are. It's filled in. I haven't sanded it there yet. It's still a bit rough. But it's flat and it's hard. And it'll not let my fingers run up and down when I'm playing. This is the guitar I'm keeping for myself. I think I bought it I think I may be able to have told the story. But I'm just going to clean this up now and scrape the fretboard right down till it's a light color. And there's no point in just letting you see this because it's boring. And you didn't come here to be bored. Or maybe you did. Maybe life is too exciting for you. But I'll do this and then come back to you. Ciao. This is the Ariana acoustic jumbo, what do you call the hell of it? It's now being painted. I'm just going to go over it now with a little gloss, hard shell gloss on it. Neck has been glossed as well, and we'll go down it. It's got all sorts of issues from North Down, special items from North Down on it. I had a sun put on it because it was just the one thing that's constantly missing from North Down is a bit of sunshine. But in this case, I decided to ask the artist to put a little bit of sunshine on Bangor. So when I'm doing the final demo of this, I'll take you through what they all represent, all these little trinkets, which are all something special to Bangor. So I just put on my proper glasses so I can see. And all I'm going to do now is put another coat of lacquer on it. It's been sprayed twice, but it doesn't have to be sprayed. Because it's the paint, I've asked the lady to put the paint on thickly, and she did, I'm delighted to say. So I'm going to put a thick coat of gloss on this, which dries up hard. And just going to do that and get on with it. Probably get 3 or 4 more coats of this. This is the super hard resin paint. I'll clean up the edges later. It'll be cleaned up. It's going to be polished around the edges anyway. Okay, this is the Ariana. I have renamed it the Bangor Guitar because that's where I live. Bangor, on the east coast of North Down. I put brass nuts on it. The whole neck has been cleaned up nicely. It also has a brass bridge, and you'll see that it's been painted in all the forms and shapes of Bangor County Down. Now, brass pins, brass bridge. This little man here, we have a statue in Bangor County Down of a man eating a pasty supper. It's in bronze. It doesn't look like that, but that's sort of symbolic. Now, it just happens to be that the young fella, this was done 10 or 20 years ago, and it's a sort of a little token of what Bangor's all about. It just happens to be that the young fella is my nephew. All right. And we have sailboats in our bay, and we sometimes have sunshine. Our main thing we're known for is our clock, McKee clock. We also used to have boats out on the bay called laird boats, and we had a seal, which I think is still there. Now, if you look carefully, That's called Lucille because it only has one eye, and it was a seal out in the bay, and I think it still is there. We have a dopey, big, huge, £1,000,000 pond, and if you look, they have swans, people sitting on them. There's about 2 dozen swans you can float around this pond on. One of the animals we're into is the guillemots. They are in our bay and in our marina, and so that's also, we're known for that. And the water dragon is on the symbol and the coat of arms for Bangor County Down. Now, Bangor became a city recently. I don't know why it became a city. I'm a former councillor of 22 years on Bangor Council, and I still can't figure out why we became a city, because we really are just a sort of a seaside town. We don't have a cathedral, we don't have a theatre, but yet, for some reason, I think we're a pity city. They took pity on us because we're one of the larger towns that didn't have city status. But anyway, there's the guitar, and I'll let you hear it now. It sounds nice. Some people will hate it, as I say, but let me just tune it here. Oh, I'm having miso soup, M-I-S-O. If you haven't had miso soup, order a couple of packets. It's quite nice. It's an acquired taste. It's seaweed and fish, but it's quite nice, and you just put water into it. It's quite tasty. Right, let's get it played. Let's play you a couple of tunes. Georgia girl's going to jump on my shoulder, aren't you? Are you going to jump on my shoulder? Come on then. Come on. Jump on my shoulder if you're going to jump. That's it, right. Oh, she used me as a stepping stone. Right, okay. I should be playing I'm Stepping Stone. It's a jumbo, wide fingering, but it's very nice guitar. Now, one of the things about it, it was very, very dirty, and I had to take the polisher to it and polish it and polish it and polish it. I think it's about 25 years old, but it's a lovely sounding guitar. I think the brass nut, brass pins and brass bridge all help the tone of it. I'm not going to play. This is one of the things I actually hate, is demoing a guitar, because I'm not a great guitar player. All I can do is play a few chords for you. So there you go. Oh, maybe gone out of tune a bit there. Oh, I'll play my favorite chord now. Now that's going to go into the window of the Assisi shop in County Down, and I'm going to ask for about 100 and 150 pounds for it, and it all goes to the animals. Say goodbye. Ooh, seasick boy. Ooh, bye bye, bye bye. Oh look, Georgie girl.